I made it to filming today, so I'm just like, I'm excited. I'm so excited. So thank you for joining me. My name is Dots of Love and Light, and I'm sending you so much, such warm love and light today, and I hope you can receive it. Well, I hope you can feel it because it's definitely being sent out to you. But so today's video, I actually wanted to talk about how much I earn as a project manager. So for me, I think it's important to be transparent, because if not, then you just end up sort of keeping everything in, and oftentimes when you share your experience, others are able to use that to propel them to do something else for themselves, to do better for themselves as well. So, because for me, I thought about how much I wanted to earn, but I wasn't quite sure, what field and what that would look like, and what those steps would look like as I went from job to job. And now that I have actually gone from job to job, I'll be talking about really all of the jobs that I've had as a project manager, which is my whole professional career. And that is about 5 jobs. I'm on my 6th contract right now. And so yeah, I figured I'd share my experience. And so if you were thinking of project management and what your experience could possibly look like, of course, it's different for everybody. I mean, I saw a post recently with someone's like, if you don't get a 6-figure job within like the first year of graduating, don't feel bad. And I'm like, wait, what? It took me years and years to get there. But in this case, so obviously you can get this. You can get a 6-figure job right out of school. There's nothing stopping you from that. I did not. I took different steps to get there. So I thought I'd share, which I'm really actually excited about, because one thing I do want to mention is one of the reasons I'm excited to make this video is because oftentimes we don't talk about money, how much we're making, finance. It's always the hush-hush thing. And I don't really believe in hush-hush things. Like I said, I want to be as transparent as I possibly could. I'm like anyone else who is struggling to keep certain things. I'm like anyone else who's just struggling to make sense of certain things, and sometimes I don't want to share because I haven't settled it within my own mind yet, right? But this is something I feel like I settled and I feel very comfortable sharing. Yeah, I think it's gonna be great information. So just to give you background, I pretty much started working around like when I finished my master's. So I did do my master's, but I did my master's in my undergrad in criminal justice and my master's in social justice. So I did not study project management, and I did not study information technology, IT, which is the field I'm in. So I was, looking for a job in my field, which is like that social justice. I was actually thinking, what is it? Sort of like non-profit organization, that sort of thing. That was the thing I was looking for anyhow. So I was looking to organize, but in more non-profit, more social settings, as opposed to more formal and like IT setting. Definitely wasn't thinking IT. And even when I was thinking management, I didn't know project management as a career as well. So as I was looking for a job, had a really challenging time, and my pastor was like, "Oh, my son, he does this thing, he does this job, it pays well, he'll help you out, reach out to him." So I reached out to him, and so he got me a project coordinator internship role. And so that was my very first job, and that job was, as I said, internship. It was at a bank, the Royal Bank of Canada, RBC. Whoop whoop, RBC. So it was an internship role at BMO. Sorry, BMO. That's where I am now. And I always get all these banks because I worked at 3 banks, and now I'm seeing different banks at work sometimes, and it's like, oh no, I meant BMO, not Scotia, which is the other bank I worked at. But anyway, so my first job, RBC paid $20 an hour. And it was an internship role, and I was a project coordinator, project control officer. So project coordinator essentially. So I was really just supporting the project managers. If they needed anything, I would do it. If they needed like meeting minutes, engaging or checking, following up with someone from the project team, I would help out with that if they needed to update or verify a document and, you know, get different teams to fill it in so that they can do a final check. I would sort of just help out. Again, whatever the project manager needed throughout the project cycle, I would help them out. And I did that for multiple projects, and I got $20 an hour for that. Now, my second job was as a project coordinator as well. This was at a company called TELUS, which is telecommunications. So I went from bank to telecommunication, and this job was $25 an hour, which was quite interesting for me because to me, $20, you know, was pretty decent. I was like, okay, this is a great start. And then to have my second job pay $25 an hour, so it went up by $5 within like a few months. Yeah, it went up by $5 by my second job. It was like, oh, wait a second. So I can go up that fast, like by $5? Like, that was so cool. So I was really happy about that. And at this point, I wasn't sure if I wanted to stay in project management. But when I saw, you know, I really enjoyed my time at RBC, and then I saw that, yeah, getting a job or getting contacted was so much easier. I definitely still had to apply, but at least I was getting responses. Whereas before, when I was looking for something for my previous field, I wasn't getting really much callbacks, right? So I was like, okay, cool. I like this field. They give you, you know, they call you back, they give you jobs, and the pay can go up, it seems pretty fast because it went from 20 to 25. And then my third job, this one was full-time, so it wasn't a contract role. And for this one, I started off at $55 a year. And at this point, to be honest, I had it was heartbreaking at that time where for this job, I thought it was $55 per hour. So my partner and I were like, because that would be my first like high-paying job. We were like, what? We celebrated, we were jumping, we were planning, we were like, essentially, we were so happy in that moment thinking we got this job at $55 per hour that we were planning essentially the life we're living now. We're like, okay, so, you know, you're gonna go to school, you're gonna do this, and I'm gonna work, and like, you know, we're just like so happy. And then we found out it was $55 a year. Yeah, so that was a lot for us to handle, but you know, we took it. We took the job. And so I was like, okay, cool. So we took the job. I'm like, okay, we'll keep looking. I'll keep learning. You know, there's still so much to learn. So my third job, so $55 per year. By the time I left, after about 2 years, it was 60. That I was approximately 60 per year, about 58, 59, 60 per year when you think about all these bonuses and perks and like, you know, all these little different things that you get. Yeah, came up to about 60 per year. So right now I went from 25 per hour, which I don't know what that goes to per year because I was contract, and then 20 per hour, 25 per hour for the next job, and then about 60 per year. Ooh, actually, yeah. So my third job, I remember when we did the math, it was about $30 an hour. So again, I went up by it was like 28 to 30, depending on how you calculate it. So I was like, okay, so I went up by $5 for each job. So my third job now, I'm about 30 per hour, but it was per year. So I was making about 55 to 60 per year as I went on. And then my fourth job, so at my third job, I started at one point looking for a job, and everyone had told me, look, project management, there's a lot of money here. There's a lot of money to be made, and you can make up to like 75 per hour. Like, go for it. And I, you know, I was like, okay, like I'm ready. Like, let's go. So I started interviewing. I interviewed with so many companies over the course of 1.5 years. So for a year and a half, I was interviewing for a role that would pay me $100K and $100K or more. And so my fourth job was $75K. So still a huge jump. I went from about $60K a year, let's say, to $75K a year. So that's about, you know, $15K jump. And so with that job, you know, I actually was like, okay, let me just relax here for a bit, you know. And while I was there, while I was relaxing at my job getting 75 per year, I got contacted for a contract role for my very first 100K job. 100K a year job. That was what my friend was, an Irish man, was like, he says like, welcome to the 100K club. Woo! And I was like, thank you, thank you. So finally, as I was at Modulus Data, so that was one of the companies I worked for, they were giving me about 75 per year. And for this job, so while I was there, I got a call from, you know, an agency, and one of their clients, which was Scotiabank, was looking for someone, and I was just like, and it was a 3-month contract, so it was a risk. So I was going from a full-time to 3-month contract, but then they were like, oh, you know, 65 per hour, so I just threw that out there. I was like, 65 per hour, and I did the interview, and boom, I got the job. So my 5th job, that looks like 10, but I mean 5, but you know, my 5th job was when I finally got closer to the pay that I was looking for, which was 65, which was like bells, whistles, like I was happy. I am happy as hell. So that was how much I made per hour up until my last job. And my current job, I can't say the exact pay, you know, contract and stuff. So in the future, you know, I can't say the exact pay, but as you can imagine, it is approximately in the realm. It is in the realm of something like the 65s, of the 60s, or the 50, 60, 80s, who knows? But yeah, but no, it's in that realm of 60s. Yeah, and so that's how much I'm making now. And so I'm where I am right now. Oh, my battery's at 5%. I should pause, charge, and so I think I'm good. So yeah, so that's where I'm at now, and yeah, this place is great. I'm loving it so far. I'm about 2 weeks in so far to my new place, and it's all the same thing all along. Information technology, IT, project management, or project coordinator, the same family. And so just a couple more things to add is, yeah, as I mentioned earlier, between to get my 3rd job, which was to get my 5th job, my highest paying job, it took me about 1.5 years, and about 6 months into searching, I realized that, you know what, chasing money, going after, because I was so for a while, for a few years, because financially it was really hard for us as well, and we really we needed the extra income, but more than that, it was just I wanted to achieve something. And so I was like, okay, like I can do this, and I can do this in this amount of time. Okay, I can do it, because I initially thought it would take about 2 months of interviewing. So, you know, a 1.5 years later, and not having the job or having the offer, about 6 months into that, not a 1.5 years later. So I thought it would take about 2 months, and then it was taking 6 months, and then we were becoming impatient of like, okay, why is it taking so long? And, you know, I really want this now. No, give me now. But then I had to realize, you know what is the point of the chase? It started dawning on me that, wait, what are you doing? Because I was getting the interviews, I was getting really great feedback, I was having such a positive experience in the interviews, I was getting to like the 3rd levels, I was, you know, meeting the CEOs and all that stuff. I just wasn't getting the yes. So then I realized, wait a second, it's only a matter of time, right? So just relax, breathe. And one thing I realized too, I'm like, yeah, once you sort of leave a stage, you never really come back, right? So once you start earning a certain amount, it really just goes up unless something else happens, but it really just goes up. So I was like, enjoy this time, enjoy what it is. There is absolutely nothing wrong with how much you're earning. Just enjoy it, relax, chill, breathe. And so I started really just calming myself down, because yeah, I found that it was really taking a toll on me mentally, just trying to do this and interviewing overall. Like I found that after interviewing, sometimes I would be like sweating. I would just be like in sweat, not like my face, but just like, you know, those tiny ones like my armpit or like my back or something. Just like, because it's just such a high intense situation. Which, by the way, I feel that way when I'm about to shoot a YouTube video, when I just start one. So this is my first video, so it feels a bit awkward for me right now. But hey, I'm doing it. You know, that's all that matters. Okay, so by my third video, it'll probably, which I'm gonna shoot them all today. Well, fingers crossed. I got some notes here. I have 2 notes for 2 videos, so we'll see if I get to the third one. But yeah, so I feel like I recognize that once I got the 100K, then what was I gonna chase? Was I gonna continue the chase? Was I gonna go for 150K? Was that going to be the next chase? So realizing that there's really no end goal, there's no point, there is no like end to it. If that is your goal, is to make more and more money. So I realized to enjoy life and to really be present, I needed to release that trust and belief that it was coming, which I could feel, I could tell. And so I did that. I took my own advice. I just love that because oftentimes people take our own advice. We're like, yeah, I know I shouldn't be worried, but I'm so worried. So I took my own advice, and I found that both my partner and I, we were just like really chill and relaxed. And honestly, since then, it's just been like, the job for 65K I didn't apply for it. I was contacted by the agency like, hey, are you interested? And I thought, okay. And even my current job right now, I don't believe I applied for it. No. I was again contacted, and it's like, oh, I saw your profile on LinkedIn, or you applied for a job years ago, and we saw your resume again, you know, and sometimes my resume was outdated, right? My resume would have like 2 jobs behind, but they contact me, and I feel like I've done even more since you last saw me. And I would send them an updated resume, and it was always such a positive experience. And so, yeah, so I started to enjoy, and then I finally got the money, and it was all awesome, and it's going great so far. And at the end now, I'm just investing in different things like doing YouTube, and doing a business idea that I have. I'm so excited for. A spice container line, that's what it is. So I'm excited. So I'm just doing different things, and yeah, so that is one thing I see here is, one last thing is, like, I realize whether or not you're earning 20 an hour or, you know, 65 an hour at my last job, it's just like, you're the same person. It's just the same thing. If you're not happy in one case, you're not happy in the other case. So I realized that early, and I'm like, okay, I need to love myself and love where I am and love my home and love my bathroom, because I really wanted to renovate. I was like, I need this job for renovation. Renovate. And but I had to realize I needed to just love everything as it is now, in order for any growth to happen, in order for me to appreciate the next stage that I get to, because the next stage is coming. It's inevitable. I'm manifesting it. I've manifested every stage that I've been at so far, so it's inevitable that the next stage is coming. So I felt like I needed to prepare, and that in preparation, or by what I mean by preparation, was to ground myself in where I was and to be comfortable and happy with where I was. And so I focused there, and focusing there really helped. Like, not meant, because really this process continues on, right? Like, there is no end to anything. It's just a continuation, which is why I wanted to make sure the happiness started there, so that it can continue to flow on now. And it has, and this is what I wanted. So I'm so happy. Because I'm the same person I was then that I am now. So if I wasn't happy then, I wouldn't be happy now. So I'm grateful, I'm blessed. This was one of the many blessings, because this was last year. Because I didn't really give y'all timelines, but I finally got the job last year, July, after 1.5 years of searching, and that was when I got the job. So, yeah, so it took 1.5 years, and I got the job last July, and here we are. It's 2022, baby. So this is one of the, okay, that's what I'm saying. It's one of the many blessings of last year, and one of the many things that I'm grateful for. And the beauty is I was grateful for so many things that this is just like, it's actually not tough. So yeah, I'm so certain this video is helpful. So thanks for joining me. Thanks for joining me. Have the very best day.